Alright guys, how is it going? We are currently going through the gameplay from the reveal of Cold War via Warzone, which is something I never really expected to happen in Call of Duty, and this is the first Call of Duty video I've done in a minute. However, it was nice to get into something. I see what they're trying to do with the whole, I mean, Fortnite's had that sort of scenario where it's done these live reveals, but as you can see, we got into it. We got into the game, everything's like sort of pushed over, like Cold War sort of scenario, obviously, to do with the game. And I really like the style that they did it though, because it wasn't just jump in, you get to see it, you get to stand around, you actually had to do something. So we got into the warm-up, we'll skip past this bit. If you didn't do it, you load in, obviously that's a little bit different with the other plane going past as well. Just cool little snippets every now and then all around the place. But anyway, we dropped in, and of course you had some tasks to complete. And what you will notice when we are about to drop in a second is a full UAV all the time. You had to kill people to get a hold of their intel. You had to do this 5 different times. We're about to drop in and you will see us getting a hold of that intel. You could also pick that up from picking up some boxes that sometimes had the map codes in them. Look, let's see, yeah, look, it says loot and kill for the intel. You can see my teammate just killed somebody there. We got a hold of it pretty quickly, and then we find the last one there, pretty sharpish there as well, just from one of the boxes, although you can see me trying to kill people. But either way, I like the way that they did it in terms of, yes, you have to go on to Warzone, yes, everyone thought it would just be a case of landing in the stadium, it'll probably disable any damage and everyone could just sort of sit there and watch. However, it turned out to be actual objectives that you had to complete, so I was all for that. It's nice to see a bit more interaction in terms of what you actually have to do. Either way, the map codes get completed, we secure them, and now we have to move on to secure the key. And I seen that Paradox, the observer for the CDL, tweeting out about this one. It was the mixer trying to get a hold of this one. We get lucky and we get in before we even die, miraculously in this one. But here you go, it says secure the key. We start to make our way towards one of the bunkers, further towards Scrapyard. We do try to get in. Everybody's lagging all over the place. There's about 30 people here. So obviously there was going to be certain different places where they would put these various key cards, if you like, and we get in, we get 1 kill. I don't know how I make it down. I see somebody's on my right hand side. He pushes out. I tried to kill him. Not sure what he's pushed out for. He might have already got a little bit further, but either way, I managed to break on through. Key card is there. We take the key, secure the key, and now we have to move on to the next objective. Now, this one, I don't know how it happened. I don't know if my teammates knew something that I didn't know, but it says crack the map code. They cracked it. I'll be honest, I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I know how it happened, but it did. Either way, it happened. It says crack the map code. It came up with F4 and TV station was no longer blanked out, so I knew something over towards TV station is where I had to go. So it was quite a trek from this direction, obviously, but we managed to pick up a cargo truck, and I just left this bit in, actually, because people tried to get a hold of my truck and blow it up, but consequently blew their own vehicle up, which was hilarious and always good to see people griefing or trying to kill me all the way through it when I'm trying to get away, but nice to get one over on some people. But either way, we went over towards TV station. I thought it would be in the bunker that's locked. Apparently it is in there as well, but I just didn't know the code, so I mean, that's always a bit of a difficulty. But either way, it did then end up coming up. We tried to run in, but of course, as you can imagine, people just camping in and around this, even though it's like a fun little thing that's been trying to go on, but you can hear the code starting to come out. It was just a little bit late. I don't know if I've seen him in that corner, but either way, he's sitting there camping. You can see Woods is there. That's how you get the final blueprint of him. He was just sitting waiting for it, but then, of course, it got to the point where it ended it after 20 minutes. If you didn't get there, you can still jump back in, which I'm not too keen on. I would have liked to see it be a one-time only thing, but either way, it delves into this. If any of you did miss it, this is a good one to watch, though.
Understand what's going on around you. You are in a state of war, and you have precious little time to save yourself.
And from there, it drops us in, runs to the stadium to get the safety, and I'm so far away. I think, what was it, like 600 meters in the end, or 500 meters by the time I get to the floor. So it's a full-on sprint towards stadium. You can't see on the map, you'll see later on though that it's closing in, like the zone's been closing in and around stadium, so it must be the gas coming in. But of course the trailer's playing over the top of it, or the beginning of the trailer's playing over the top of it. But once again, I mean, you know, like for all that there has been problems this year, props to these guys in terms of how they figured this one out. I've seen a couple of tweets from a couple of guys I know from the UK Call of Duty teams, or formerly from the UK Call of Duty team, saying, I know there'll be so many people sort of behind the scenes right now just checking everything's lining up and panicking. panicking massively. For all that we do go on about Fortnite having these great times where, you know, they'll come up with these live events and they're sensational and they're ahead of the game. Those things, for all that everybody is positive about them, it is not an easy thing to do, you would imagine. Having to coordinate this across the globe so that it goes live, I just can't imagine that it's an easy thing to figure out for these guys. I'm not trying to sit here and be a suit, but at the same time, it was really, really cool. So then, as you can see, the trailer's about to load in. Not that I knew this, I'm just still running for the hills. We're about to see in the top left corner on the mini-map as well that the zone's about to start getting pushed in. We don't actually make it inside of it, which I was a little bit disappointed about, unfortunately. I'm not too sure if it was much different inside or if you just make it in and the trailer would happen anyway, which is what happens now. Complete out of control by this point, and we delve into the trailer, which we'll go through now. Honestly, I thought it looked pretty good. It looks very gritty, like that sort of Call of Duty. I'm all for these ones that are a little... The futuristics, current day Call of Duties for me don't necessarily do it for me as much as they used to anymore. I think now going back always signifies in my head that things are going to be simplified a little bit more, which is I'm always all for. As you can see though, it's setting in around the Cold War era, hence the name. I'm bored myself to death. But either way, we get through to it, and it's all about the Cold War between the US and, of course, China, and, of course, Russia. We've got some familiar characters in there as well, of course, from the previous Black Ops games, but the trailer was pretty good. And to be honest, these trailers usually don't bring anything up in terms of the multiplayer. Like, they don't really offer you anything in that sense, but the campaign looks pretty cool. As I said, very dark, very gritty. It's set in that era that I enjoy personally playing in. I enjoy the weapons, etc. It's all pretty basic to a point. It looks great, in fairness. I mean, look, the trailers always look really, really good, and everyone always gets really excited about them. But either way, RCXD clearly going to be back in the game as well, which is always fantastic. But one thing I did notice, and that was further towards the multiplayer segment of the trailer, and of course you can check out this trailer across the globe just on its own if you do wish so, but of course me talking over it right now, who knows. But either way, the trailer looks really, really good. The gunplay, we honestly didn't see too much of it, in fairness. We see little bits here and there, but I do like the vibe that I'm getting off Cold War so far. Of course we've got a bit of Vietnam in there as well, which will be interesting. But loading into the multiplayer bit in just a second as well.
I know you won't fail us.
Well, I hope they don't. I hope they don't. I believe in Treyarch. But either way, open beta early access is coming if you pre-order, so we need to get a hold of that and get on the open beta as soon as possible because the release date isn't until the 13th of November. But here we go into the multiplayer section. And some people are saying this kind of looks like Azir Caves, which, I mean, it does. But in terms of the time to kill, etc., I know there's been rumours, there's been leaks in terms of how high that is. It's a bit higher than Modern Warfare, which is needed, but the worldwide multiplayer reveal will be coming on September the 9th. And that was that. That was the reveal that they did in Warzone, and honestly, I'm pretty impressed with this kid sitting here just like, oh, is that it? Yeah, that is it. That is it from the reveal. We leave the game, and as I said, you can get back into it, but there you go. That is how things went down in Warzone with the Black Ops Cold War reveal. You get a hold of a couple of emblems, etc., and a calling card for getting it done. You would have gotten the blueprint weapon if I'd managed to get there in time, but I didn't. It's still there if you do want to go and complete it, as far as I'm aware, though, so try and get into it. But if you can't, please let me know if you enjoyed the video. Give it a like and subscribe if you could as well. Comment below what you think of the Cold War reveal in Warzone, and we will catch you guys for the next video.